So yesterday we are looking into the P2P cycle, right? We have seen the P2P cycle. So try to remember this and try to understand this full process. Rather remembering, try to understand this process, how this process will happen or how this process will work. It will be very helpful for you in the interview process. Okay. So from today onwards, so we will be discussing on the what kind of business process are there, what is the process flow is there. Okay, so the first process that we have seen is the procurement of material for stock purpose. Okay, so whenever we procure the material for stock purpose or we just store it, okay, so that kind of material, those kind of materials are called, this is a business process, this is the business process for procuring a material, which material we will be storing in the warehouses. Okay, so what kind of materials will be there? Let's say some kind of raw material will be there, let's say some kind of trading materials will be there, or let's say some kind of daily uses materials will be there. Let's take an example. Let's say you need to manufacture a let's say you need to manufacture any kind of thing. Okay, let's say you want to manufacture a car, or you want to manufacture a mobile, or you want to manufacture anything. Okay, so you need to have some raw materials to manufacture that product, any xyz, any product you want to manufacture. For that one you need to have, let's say, 2 3 raw materials. So if you are in a plant, if you are in a manufacturing plant, so every day there will be manufacturing process will be there. Daily you will be requiring, let's say, 5 to 10 materials or hundreds of material as per your production planning. Okay, whatever plans are there, you need to have a raw material for a regular basis. So these materials we cannot go for a procurement or purchasing once the material are finished or once the material are over from the warehouse, because if we are going for that process, so our manufacturing process will be disturbed, right? So if you are going for the raw material after it is finished, then once you are procuring, it will definitely take some time. So that will be causing, let's say, that will be causing disturbances or stopping in your production, stopping in your work. So that is not correct. Okay, so for this kind of process we need to procure, or we need to um, buy or purchase these products on a stock basis. So let's say I will be buying, let's say this month I am consuming 100 stock, so I will be purchasing this 100 stock by previous month. Let's say I will be taking this 100 materials previous month, or let's say starting of this month I will be having this 100 materials. Let's say I have a requirement for 100 materials. Okay, so this is one process. Second thing, you are having a trading material. What is a trading material? Trading material are those which you are just buy and sell. Okay, like take an example of any kind of departmental stores are there. Let's say Big Bazaar is there. Let's say Reliance Smart is there. What are they? They are the trading, let's say they are the trading companies. Okay, they don't manufacture anything, they just buy the product from the manufacturer and they sell over there. Let's take any example. Let's say biscuits are selling over there, let's say soaps are selling over there, any kind of let's say vegetables are selling over there, any kind of house staples are selling over there. So they are not manufacturing anything, they are just buying from the manufacturer and they are selling it over there. So daily also, in that process also they will require some daily based product. Let's say daily they are selling 100 of soaps, or daily they are selling 50 let's say atta packets. Okay, so they will be needing 50 atta packets per day. So they will not go for, once the atta packets are over, they will not go for procurement. Rather they will be storing this product in their warehouses. Let's say for there will be limits for that one. Let's say I need 50 days items, or I need 30 days items, or I need 15 days items, as per your, let's say, supplying capacity. Okay, how your manufacturer or how your supplier is supplying. As per that, you can have a some days capacity stock in your warehouse or in your, let's say, storage location. Okay, so this is the trading material. Similarly, daily use materials are also there. Okay, let's take a simple example. So let's say in your household, okay, so in your household you buy staples, right? So you don't go to buy, let's say, sugar daily 10 grams or daily 20 grams. You will not go like that, right? You will buy 1 kilogram or 2 kilogram of let's say sugar in a month, and you will be using that. Let's say your sugar is going to end in 5 days or 10 days. You will know, like, this is my, I'm using per day, I'm using 5 grams or 10 grams. So 50 grams or 100 grams are left. So I'll be needing a sugar. So I'll be going to the market and I'll be buying the sugar again, right? So I'll be not going daily to buy the daily staples. Okay, this is one more example. So similarly, businesses will work in this way. Okay, so these are the examples of stock materials. These materials you can procure for stock. So how this process will happen? So like we have discussed, let's take an example. Like we have taken the example of household product. So whenever you see that, okay, I need this sugar of 1 kg or 2 kg, I will need that product in 5 days. So there will be a requirement. So requirement means purchase requisition, requirement or demand. Okay, whatever thing you can say. So there is a demand of a product or there is a requirement of a product. So we will be creating a PR in the system. So PR will show us like what is the requirement of the product, how much product is required, when it is required, and where it is required. Let's say plant and storage location. Every details we will be getting in the purchase requisition. Now if we know the supplier, okay, now you know where you can buy the sugar. You already know it. So what you can do, directly you can go to the shop or directly you can go to the supplier. Let's say I will buy from the big basket, I will buy from online platform. So I know I can buy from here, so I'll directly go and I will place a order on big basket, and big basket will provide me the material. Let's say I don't know where I should buy. Okay, in that case, what will I do? I will search for the supplier. How I will search for the supplier? Let's say I know the supplier that Big Basket is delivering to me. Let's say GeoMart is delivering to me. Flipkart grocery or Flipkart something is there, so they are also delivering to me. Let's say Amazon grocery, they are also delivering to me. These are the online platforms where I can buy. Grofers are there, and any other local online platforms maybe would be there. Okay, so now I list out like these are the 5 suppliers from whom I can buy the sugar. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to send a quotation. So for this, like for our retail service, we don't have to ask for a quotation. We will just go there and we will search for how many what is the price of that one, how many days it will take to deliver me. Okay, so these kind of things I will be checking on the online. So similarly, it is available on the online platform, so I can directly go and I can check over there. For the businesses, it is not available over the internet. So what you can do, you have to send a RFQ, request for quotation. You have to send them. So request for quotation, you have to send them like, I need this material of this quantity by the delivery time of this. So what should be the price? What should be the delivery time? Please send us quotation. So once you are sending the RFQ, your vendors will be sending a quotation to you. So we can send this product on this date, on this price, we will be sending. Okay, so they will be sending you a quotation. So now what will you do? You will compare the quotation. Okay, so as we have discussed yesterday, in SAP, we have a standard process of comparing only the price for the quotation. That's why it is also called as a price comparison also. Okay, we are not comparing any other things. We will be comparing, or we will be selecting the vendor based on the price. Okay, that's why it is called as a price comparison. So now we will be comparing the price, and now we will be getting, like, let's say this is the vendor one, or number one vendor, number two vendor, number three vendor, as per their price. Let's say someone is saying 40 rupees, someone is saying 35 rupees, someone is saying 38 or 37 rupees. So as per that, who will be giving you on a cheaper price, you have to go for that. Okay, so now you have decided which is your supplier where you have to buy. Let's say in the online platform, you find that Big Basket is selling it, and Big Basket can deliver it on, let's say, 5 minutes to 10 minutes. They can deliver it, and they are providing it at a normal price or nominal price. They are providing it. So now what will you do? You will go to the Big Basket to purchase this sugar. Okay, now what will you do? You have selected your supplier or vendor. Let's say you have selected the vendor, or the Big Basket you have selected. Now you will send a purchase order to the Big Basket platform. Okay, now that is called a purchase order. So purchase order is a legal document from your company to the vendor, which will have all the terms and conditions. Okay, all of the terms and conditions of the price, of the delivery time, of the, like, everything will be there. Every legal term, every terms and conditions will be there in the purchase order. Now we will send a purchase order to the vendor. Vendor will send you the per send you the material as per the delivery time. Let's say I am asking for a purchase order now. The delivery date is on Monday. So on Monday, they will be sending us the material. So which day I will receive the material, on that day I can do the goods receipt. Okay. Then the goods receipt will happen. After the goods receipt, after the goods receipt, there will be the invoice receipt is there. So this process will work as per the standard P2P cycle. Whatever things we have discussed, this work on the similar way of standard procurement cycle. So anyone can ask you what is a standard procurement cycle or what is a P2P cycle. You can answer like this. Okay, and while you are answering, answer it in a proper way. Okay, like how we are explaining it over here, you can just explain like that one. Okay, don't go for extra explanations, like in the details, don't go over there. So you can just explain the flow. How you can explain? Let's say if someone is asking you how the P2P cycle is working, or how the standard procurement process will happen. So starting, you can say the standard procurement cycle, we can use it for raw materials, or for daily used materials, or for trading materials, which we can stock the materials. So those kind of material we can use it for stock procurement materials. Okay, so how this process will happen? So first, let's say there is a demand of the product, then one PR will be created. Then after the PR, if the vendor is unknown, then we will be going for request for quotation. Then we will be getting the quotation from the vendor. Then we will be comparing the price. After the price comparison, we will be vendor vendor will be selected. As per the selected vendor, we can create a purchase order, and the purchase order will be sent to the vendor, and vendor will send us the product on the delivery date. We have to receive the product, or we have to make the goods receipt, and then once the goods receipt is done, we have to do the invoice receipt, and we have to do the payment. So this is basically the cycle. So you have to explain it like this. Okay, so it's a simple way of explaining. You have to explain the process in a simple way, so that it is understood by everyone. You should not complicate the process. Okay, because everyone who are, let's say, who don't know the process, or they don't have a background of, let's say, core background, or they have not worked in anywhere, they complicate this process. They explain it in a complicated way, so that it will be very difficult for you, like it will be having a negative impression on you, that you are only confusing. Okay, so don't confuse anyone, so try to explain it this way. So this is the first way of explaining. Now after that, there are some things are there, so while we are moving forward, we will be looking into it, how you can explain it properly. For right now, you can just explain the flow. Okay, right now we are explaining the flow, we are explaining the process, so that is how you can explain. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So, okay. So this is the stock procurement, when we buy the product and store it. Now, next procurement is procurement of material for direct consumption. So what is this? So normally some of the material, what will happen? You will directly consume it. Rather storing it, you have to consume it directly. Okay. Let's say you are buying a milk packet. So milk packet you are not going to store. You directly buy it and directly you have to consume it. Okay, similarly, let's say you are having in the business process, or in the, let's say, plant side, let's say there will be some packaging materials will be there. Let's say there will be let's say some of the safety materials will be there, or let's say there will be um, some consumable materials like the office supply material will be there, or any kind of consumable materials will be there. Okay, let's say those materials we procure for direct consumption, we don't store it. Okay, so how this process will happen? So let's say you are working in let's take an example, you are working in admin department, or you are working in a, let's say, office. Okay, so in that office, or let's say admin department, or let's say in the admin department, you are having a requirement, like you are writing. Okay, you are writing some of the let's say register, you are writing something on that, or you are maintaining some of the register, or you are doing something. So let's say you require all, or let's say this security department is there. So security, what they will do, um, they will enter, like anyone is coming inside the premises, so they will be writing in their register that who is coming, who is going. So for that one, let's say what they need, so they need some register, they need some pen, right? So they will be needing this to maintain their work. So now these things we will not be storing in our warehouse or in our storage location. Directly, whenever, let's say, security department is saying I need 50 register books, or I need 50 pen, so directly you can procure that material, and you can directly supply or give that to the storage security department. Rather storing in the um, rather storing in your storage location, you will be directly sharing to them. Okay, so once they are giving you a like PR, or they are giving you an indent that we have a demand for this, or we have a requirement for this much of material, so you have to go for, so you have to go for the procurement, and whenever the material is there, you have to supply it or share it to the concerned department. Okay, so this is kind of similar to the stock purpose, but at the time of GR, so everything is same. You can see the PR, RFQ, quotation, comparison, then purchase order, then GR. So everything is similar till GR. So in the GR, what will happen? In the GR, you have to give this product, or you have to directly receive the product at the department, or whenever you receive the product, you can directly send this to the department. Okay, so this is the different of consumption. So for the consumption, you have to mention which department or which place is consuming, what is the cost center, and what is the, let's say, GL account and all will be there. So you will be directly sending or sharing this material directly to the department which department has asked it for. Okay, so this is the difference between direct consumption and stock purpose. So at the point of GR, so whenever you do a GR, so rather doing a GR, you can directly do a GI over there. Okay, you receive the product, you directly do the, if you are receiving it in the warehouse also. So directly you can give a let's say cost center over there, which cost center is using the product. So what is a cost center and all, we will be going into that in a later phase. So right now it will be confusing. Okay, understood this one? So only difference it, at the time of GR we need to supply the product to the concerned department. Rather storing the product in our warehouse or in our storage location, we will be directly issuing the material to the concerned department. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, so this is the two processes are similar, means working process are similar. Just at the point of GR, you need to define like which cost center or where you are using. So process might be changed, like while creating the purchase requisition or while creating the purchase order, there might be different selection will be needed, but most probably the process flow will work in similar way. Just at the point of GR, we need to supply it. Rather, we are storing it to the warehouse or storing it to the storage location. Okay, this is fine with everyone. This is fine, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So next process is pipeline procurement. What is a pipeline procurement? Let's say whenever you require some material, let's say oil, gas, of any kind of material that is flowing from the from the suppliers area to the to our plant or to our premises. Let's take an example. Let's say you are using a water supply connection, or you are using, let's say common water supply will not be common, let's say electricity, right? You are using a electricity connection. So who is the electricity provider? Let's say government or any private company is supplying the electricity. Now how they will be supplying to you? So you will be taking a connection from the electricity department, so they will be putting the electric wire till your house, right? So electric wire will be put till your house, it will be connected to your household connection. So it will be there for permanent. Okay, permanently it will be there. Whenever require, you can just use it. Okay, you can use your fan, you can use your light, you can just switch on and you can use your light. Directly you are consuming the item, or directly you are consuming the whatever things like service or material or anything we can say, you are consuming it directly. Okay, directly you are consuming. So now how you are paying? You are not paying like, I have consumed today, I have consumed 4 units of electricity. I will not go and pay for 4 units. Tomorrow I will be consuming 3 units. I am not going to pay for 3 units. Let's say in 1 month, how many units have been consumed? As per that one, there will be a price for the government. So government has decided a price, like for, let's say 50 unit, there will be a price, 100 unit, there will be a price, 200 unit, there will be a price. As per the decided price, so government will be sending you an invoice like you have consumed this much of quantity of this much of unit of electricity. Now you have to pay this much of amount against this consumption eh, quantity. Okay, right? Understood? Understood the process?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Okay, so similar process for, let's say for the plants, there might be some gas connection should be needed. Let's say some plants will be using the oxygen gases, or let's say ammonia gases, or any kind of gases will be there. Okay, these will be required mostly for the steel plants or for any kind of chemical plants. This will be needed. And let's say they are also using the water supply connection. Let's say every plant will need some water connection, and let's say there will be electricity connection will be there. Let's say there will be um, some oil connection. Let's say they need some oils or any kind of um, uh, any kind of liquid materials are there, they will be needing. So these kind of materials, no one can go, they will not be stored in anywhere. Okay, they will not be stored in anywhere, it will be stored in the vendor's place, or it will be stored in the vendor's area. Okay, vendor or suppliers area it will be stored, so directly from there it will be flowing. Every time it will be flowing to your plant or to your manufacturing unit. So whenever you require, you just acquire the product, or you can use the product from that. Let's say there will be some valves will be there, or there will be, let's say for the electricity there will be switches will be there, so directly you can switch it on and you can use it. So for the gas and oil or any kind of water kind of material, directly open your valves and use it. Okay, so how much consumption is there, as per that you have to pay it. So how the process will start? So there will be no purchase order. So now we are not giving any purchase order, or now we are not doing any purchase we are not doing any goods receipt or anything. So how the process will happen? So let's say first you identified a demand. Let's take an example, the same example we have taken for the household. So you have identified that you need electricity for your home. Okay, now you have to search. Let's say there are multiple, let's say there are multiple suppliers are there. Let's say Tata Power is supplying the power, let's say Reliance Power is supplying the power, let's say government is also supplying the power. Okay, just take an example. Let's say these people are providing you a power. Now you have identified which supplier you have to go for, which supplier you have to take the connection from. Okay, so just 1 second. So now once you have identified everything, now you will go for a info record. Okay, so what is a info record? So info record is basically, it is a document which will contain all the terms and condition from the supplier on the material. Let's say for the electricity, let's say Tata Power is saying they will provide you electricity at 2 rupees, or at 3 rupees, or at 5 rupees, on which time, and how much time they will give. Let's say there will be some validity period or something like that, if anything would be there. Okay, so these kind of things will be maintained in the info record. Based on this info record price, you have to do the settlement, or you have to pay to the vendor. Like whatever things you have consumed, you have to pay as per the info record. So info record is basically a price, and agreement details will be there in the info record. Okay, so gradually you will be knowing different things what is related to SAP, you will be knowing. So once we are going to the SAP, we will be looking into the each and every thing, each and every document topic, we will be going to understand those kind of things. Okay, so what is the first thing? First thing, there is a contract, or we can say it is a contract in a layman language or in a general language, but this will be the info record. Okay, as per SAP, this is the info record which will contain all the conditions, terms and condition, prices, and everything will be there in the info record. Okay, so now there will be supply from the vendor or supplier to your warehouses. Now, whenever you require something, directly you will be doing the goods issue, right? Directly you will be doing the goods issue. Now, for the manufacturing plant or for the businesses, there will be no invoices will be sent by the supplier to you. Okay, rather you will be sending the GI document. So whatever uh, quantity of goods you have issued from the supplier, you have to send a document like, I have consumed this much of quantity. Okay, you have to send a let's say document, like whatever goods issue for this month or 15 days period of time, whatever things have been maintained on the info record, like how much time is required for settlement and all. So you have to inform the supplier or vendor like this much of quantity I have consumed on this one. So now after sending this one, you have to settle the liabilities like I have consumed 100 kg of or 100 units of electricity, and one unit is 5 rupees. So I have to give you 500 rupees for this month. Let's say there will be a settlement period will be there. Let's say 7 days or 15 days or any period of time will be there. Let's say you have sent it GI document on 1st of April, and by 7th of April you have to pay it or you have to settle the liabilities. Now once you have done the payment, you have to share the settlement document also. I have paid this much of amount on this date, so you have to share that document to the vendor also. So this is basically the process. So here there is no purchase order, no goods receipt, nothing will be there. So directly goods issue, settlement. Okay, understood?
Yes,
Understood?
sir.
Okay. Everyone understood or any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So we are not going for any further topics. So tomorrow we will be continuing from the next process. Okay. Just try to go through the recording. Recording I'll be sharing after kind of half an hour or 1 hour. I'll be sharing it. You can find it over the same place. Just try to go through the recordings. If you are means first time, you will not be able to understand on a first time. So you have to revise it time by time. You have to revise it. Just try to note it down. Okay. So try to um, go through the process again and again, let's say 2 3 times. You will be able to understand what is the difference, how it is working. You will be able to understand. Okay, so we will be continuing tomorrow. So that's it for today. Okay, yeah. So bye everyone, we will be connecting again on tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, okay, bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, thank you everyone, bye.